Yeah, I think some of the bigger sectors we're going to see grow include some that are very substantial right now, including data centers, triple net lease, music royalties, and large ticket equipment spaces. All of these are coming about from both the demand and the supply side. On the supply side, data center, we talk about this all the time. I can't go to a cocktail party without somebody asking me about the growth of data center and the need that we're going to see due to AI, due to the use of technology, and how much that demand is going to have to be funded, and in turn coming to the ABS market, which is the most efficient way to finance these. Triple net lease, we're seeing sponsors come from some of the largest private equity shops, and the need for good funding going into the real estate business and a really diversified pool of assets. And music, it's rock and roll. And so it's anything that it's something we think about often. We think about music and streaming, and you can really understand it, but we'll talk in a minute, I'm sure, about in the investing side, it's a really great non-correlated asset to come. And then lastly, on the equipment lease side, as you've seen banks pull back due to risk-weight capital requirements, you've seen other issuers come in to take their spots and become larger issuers in this space. We're seeing quite a number of new investors come into the market. In general, esoterics account for about a third of the business right now, a third of our supply, and that's up from the mid-20s in the last couple of years. And it really comes at an opportune time because if you look at investment grade corporates, for example, they're at the tightest levels they have been since the Great Recession. You're seeing a lot of tightening in the more flow asset backs, and people are looking for more relative value. So you've seen a great number of new investors. For example, in whole business, we've seen over 110 investors this year. That similarly goes for equipment lease, music, triple net lease, and the other esoteric sectors. So you're seeing new investors coming in, wanting to do the work. And that's one thing that's very important is people are digging in. It's not just people waving in bonds. We usually have for an inaugural issue 40, 50 non-deal roadshow meetings where the investors are rolling up their sleeves, asking good questions, and getting into the model. So it's a very healthy growth that you're seeing in this sector. And then lastly, you really have a non-correlated asset versus consumer assets in many of these assets. You really have longer duration. You have analyzable cash flows, you have strong, robust structures, and then lastly, relative value. A lot of these sectors are not AAA at the top, so you have a chance to get single A and triple B senior classes and really good relative value versus investment grade and on the run asset backs. So I've been doing asset backs for 37 years. I started my career in research at Merrill and Lehman. I ran research for many years. In the beginning of these conferences 30 years ago, there were very few people that could talk generally about the markets. So they had me do 3 panels at the conferences. So I've been doing them for quite a long time. I've hardly missed a conference since the 80s. But for me, it's a way to see people that I've worked with and known for many years, but also a chance to have my issuers and my investors meet together. At Truist, we had 175 issuer investor meetings at this conference. It's a great way to do business, to see people face to face and to connect. And years ago, maybe you had 600 or 700 people at these conferences. Now you have 6,000, 7,000 people, right? Maybe you had 10 or 20 dealers. Now you have 40 dealers bringing these products to market. You have so many more sectors and so much growth in the market. So it's a great way to do business and connect with folks.